So watch a bit, just for a bit, as we do have words that kind of fit. If you can, make a better one, send it in, and that'll be fun, because we'll use it, get everyone laughing, because this one is embarrassing. TJ, I thought you could dance at this bit.
Oh, no, I didn't.
TJ, are you dancing?
No, I am not.
So come along and watch us code, make some stuff, and help you know that not much rhymes with draft will make game for a laugh.
Yeah.
So, TJ, you saying that we're not outputting?
The sound for it wasn't.
Oh, you'll just have to sing along. So,
I'm just going to double check the live feed.
The show.
Wait.
There we go.
The live feed is, so I can't hear it, but they can.
Well, I heard it, and normally I need.
There we go.
There we go. There we go. So anyway, welcome to Impact Gamers. We are streaming live at the moment, but if it is not just after 2:00 on Wednesday the 10th, then we're not live streaming. We're probably somewhere else. TJ's probably combing his beard at a mountain some point. So there we go.
As usual.
If you haven't followed this before, we are making a game, having a laugh, and we're using Click Team Fusion to do that. And we're making a game about being lost. So, TJ, what have we done so far?
So far, we have created a maze, and we've set it a movement for the player.
Yep.
And also, I don't know if this was done on screen though, but Adam has pre-rendered some very awesome looking things, which I don't want to spoil, so I'll let...
Yeah, you can see a small preview of them here. But yes, we'll hopefully get a chance to add that in to the game. So what we've done is we've said that we can turn left, we can turn right, and we can move forwards. And if we run our application, we will see that all of that is useless, because at the moment, when it starts... we can't see our player, and it's kind of like a cardinal rule of game making that we should be able to see our player, because otherwise how are we going to control them? So that's totally a bug. Now that's just the fact that our world that we've made in this frame here, the frame is the level, you can see the frame show is here and our player is there also, so it's not centered on it, so it's not following this player, but theoretically we should be able to see it as well, because it is within the boundaries of the original frame. But I'm just going to change this rule here. Oh, there we go. That might prove it. Okay, I added a rule of just to check something, and it actually says make invisible for the player. So that's the real reason we can't see the player. But also, the other reason is that the screen is going to not scroll. So I'm just going to turn some scrolling on for a moment. And so it's a rule that we always want to happen. Now, Click Team Fusion works off conditions, if something's happening. And so this is if always. And if always, it's just all the time. All the time. Underneath the chessboard storyboard controls here, that allows us to change the way that the screen looks and what we're doing. And we want to center the window position in frame, although I'm in the way of that. So we want to center the window position in frame under scrollings. There we go. And then it allows us a choice of what we're going to center it on. We could choose a point, but we want to be relative to the player. And relative to the player just means it's going to follow the player. Good. So, TJ.
Yes.
Yesterday, Monday, we asked about people being lost. But I want to ask you a question. Are you ever lost for words?
Ooh, yes.
And what kind of things mean that you can't think of what to say?
So the two things are the complete other ends of the spectrum.
Yeah.
So if someone tells me something which is quite bad news, I sometimes don't always have a response. If someone says something really nice to me, it actually really trips me up, and I don't know how to respond. Yeah, it's like
TJ, you're such a kind and generous person. TJ,
you now know how to make me go silent.
So
silence.
There we go. We're able to walk around a maze. So TJ, I've got some really sad news for you. You wonderful, wonderful man. Like that would be worse. That'd be worse.
Oh wow!
What would you do then? You just couldn't speak for weeks. I know.
Yeah. I'd just collapse.
This movement is working really well, and a lovely maze you drew here, TJ.
Thank you.
Lots of corridors. So the first thing that we'll sort out now that we've fixed the bug of having it invisible, is the fact that we can just go through walls. So it's called no clipping. We can't. We can just go wherever we like. So we'll fix that first of all. TJ, for me, I'm lost for words if I start reading something while speaking to someone, or if a TV is on. That'll do it for me. Like if someone turned the TV on in here, you'd just have 25 minutes of me going.
I'll talk to you in a minute.
Yeah. It's just anything shine. It's just a bit of tinfoil on the floor that'll do it. So, is there anything that gets your brain lost, that you get your brain fog and you can't think? So, we want to ask that to you, people out there in Facebook world. Is there anything that gets you lost and confused, and not lost physically, but just lost as in you don't really know what to do? Okay, so what I'm going to do is to help guide this player is I'm going to place something in the square in front. Because it works on a grid system, we're always going to go into the square that's just in front of us. So in this case, if we press forwards, we would go into this square. So I'm going to place a block which is going to be our sort of, I don't know, a sensor block. So let's just colour this in. And we haven't practiced any of this, so this could all go horribly wrong. I'm going to say it's green. Nice green block. And just so that I remember it's for forwards, I'm going to put an F on there as well. And I do that just because this is going to be invisible in the game, but we have little icons in the assets on the side, and that helps me know what it's going to be, because I'm going to have a few of these. So front. It's just a quick way to see it. And it should fit exactly, not on top of anything else, so hopefully that's fine. So we need to say that if we are facing to the right, to the left, up or down, it needs to change its position depending on where we're facing. So if we're facing to the right, we need to select the position, and it's going to be that relative position again. It's a position that's based around something else. So the X coordinate, the horizontal, is 32, so that's going to be 32 pixels in front of us. There you go.
We have one answer in chat.
Yeah, go on.
It's got a few levels to it, but so when I overhear the start of a conversation or just about anything distracts this person, and then they're lost from that. So
wow, well done for sticking. You're 8 minutes into the live stream, so well done for managing that. Although maybe they've not been listening to anything else we've been saying. We don't know. So we want to set the position, select the position. If we're looking upwards, it needs to be the Y coordinate, and we need to go up by -32. So 0 is at the top for the Y, which isn't normal for most programs, but is for ClickTeam. And then we want to go down by 32 there. So let's just run our application and have a looky there. It's awful to sort of like, how do you find yourself when you're lost? There we go. So what do you have any techniques or anything?
I just once I get to that point and I'm like, oh, I don't really know what to say. I try saying something simple to start with, like just a very general baseline. I try to finding my footing, and then try elaborating on it.
So I've got something to. I've got a confession to make. I've got another confession to make. It's not that I'm a fool. It's about when my dad rings me, but first of all, I'll just sort this out first and not get too distracted and lost. We used a backdrop to make this. We used individual squares, as you saw, that they all came up at once there. We used a lot of them, sort of over 400 or so, and they're just nothing to ClickTeam. They are nothing. You mean nothing to me, backdrops. You are little use of memory. You're just a picture. But we can make them an obstacle. And if we make them an obstacle, just in their properties here, it means we can start to check if things are on top of them. So then we can then say that if we pressed forwards and we're facing to the right, and this front thing is overlapping backdrop, insert. If this thing is overlapping the backdrop, and then negate it. So if you're not on top of a wall, that means there's a space in front of us. So theoretically now, that should have just solved all of our problems. All our problems in life are now solved, TJ. There we go. You don't need to. Yeah, that's it. We can go home happy, because I can go forwards, but I can't go. There we go. And
apparently the good looks of the maze is distracting.
Oh yeah. Imagine if I steam through the maze, it might Okay, look at that. That works really well, that collision box in front, but only because we're working on a grid of 32 by 32, so everything matches up. Beautiful. Okay, right. TJ's also gone to some lovely work of finding some music. We're going to represent...
Dum, dum, dum.
Exactly. Thank you for the musical interlude there. Lost by music. But before that, I told you that I've got a confession to make. When my dad rings me, I'm often by the computer, and I'll often not get off the computer. And if I'm reading my emails, I can go a good 10, 15 minutes with him talking to me and me just going, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then I haven't taken anything in. And I can get away for about 10, 15 minutes. And then he'll say something like, so what time? And I'll be like, sorry, I just missed that. But I'm so bad. I don't give him the focus that I should do in a conversation. So I just get completely lost.
I feel less bad now for falling asleep during a call.
What, on Zoom or something? Or
no, just on my phone. Okay. Years ago, that's
a long sleep. Yeah.
In this phone call, and I actually fell asleep during it, and then I just woke up to.
Wow.
TJ.
I have. Was that a family member?
No, it was my ex-partner.
Oh, we won't ask what happened there.
That's why they're my ex-partner.
so it went, TJ, just let me know if we should stay together. Just say something. Just anything.
Just be zonked out.
TJ, it's over. What?
Sorry, I'm here.
Yep, no. Good, right. Well, I'm completely lost now on what's happening. But we're finding out lots of nice information about people's lives. So TJ found some music. So let's have a quick listen to these and see if you can decide. We want them in order of kind of severity of being lost, like just a little bit lost, the feeling of being quite lost, and the feeling of being very lost. So I'll play them. You guys have a listen to them and do just comment on which one. So this is Day of Chaos by Kevin MacLeod, and these are royalty free, but we do need to credit him. So this is Kevin's work.
I'll check it's coming through onto this.
Oh, you can't hear it?
I can't, but I think the stream can, so I'll double check it.
Okay. There we go. Well, TJ, you just have to... It went... It sounded exactly like that. Okay, here's the next one. I'll make the noises for TJ. Ding, 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 ding.
It's fine on the live feed.
It's just... Oh, I fully know what I could do to sort that out for you, actually. Yeah.
It's alright, I've got them all here.
I could do this for you, TJ, just for a second. Can you hear it now?
And Ben has joined us.
Yeah, good. Okay, right, anyway, let's stop playing that. Okay, here's the next one. Oh,
I can't hear you now.
Can you hear me now? Hear me now!
It's gone really funny, like it's cutting out.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Anyways.
No, it's like...
Okay. Well, anyway, TJ, I'm just gonna go back to normal there. Right, okay. So there's that one which is called Symmetry. So it's like someone on a saw going... Okay, and... Oh, flipping out. Go away, little... low system warning things. And this one. Unseen Horror.
So now guys, put in chat what one you prefer.
Which one is the least scary and working up to the most scary? So this is Unseen Horror. And we had... I'll go through them quickly. Day of Chaos. Still lots of piano notes. Evening of Chaos. Which is... Okay, Evening of Chaos doesn't seem as bad as Day of Chaos, which is surprising in terms of chaos. Symmetry. And Unseen Horror. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to load all of those up in ClickTeam Fusion. and I'm going to set them to each have their own channel. So when we do, you're right there, TJ. When we do, it's having a stretch.
Each a stretch.
When we do music in Clicked Infusion, it comes through as a sample. TJ, what is a sample?
A sample it's a piece of music or sound.
Yep. So at the start of frame, I've already got a start of frame. I don't need to redo my own work. We're going to play a sample. We're going to play and loop the sample, and we're going to just we'll choose Day of Chaos. And what we'll do is we'll choose. Oh, go back there. We can actually choose a channel number to play it. Now, a channel is very much like just a TV channel. It's just going to be. I'm getting lost here. TJ, explain what a multi-channel music allows you to do.
So if you have things on different channels, for example, if you have two pieces of music on the same channel, you can only adjust the sound for both of them. If you have them on a separate channel, it means you can individually change pitch or frequency or volume of the sounds because they're on different channels. So each channel can be customized.
Yeah, and we have 32 channels in Clicked Infusion by default. And so we're just going to use channel 1 for the day of the whatever it is. And I'm going to double click just to save time and copy and paste the same rule and just edit the sound that's playing. Evening of Chaos can be number 2.
Is the Unseen Horror in Unseen Horror music a bagpipe? Does it have a bagpipe in it?
No, it doesn't seem to. That would be a horrific thing to happen. So I will play it now in the Unseen Horrors. Here we go. Channel 4. Here we go. Let's have a quick listen to Unseen Horrors.
Remember, guys in chat, put a answer of what kind of music seemed to be your which one's the scariest and which one is the more
scariest.
Yeah. So try and put 2 options in chat.
It's a little bit bagpipey, but it goes.
Like a really angry cat.
Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to use those playing, and we're going to just set the channel volume, like TJ was saying, louder depending how close you are. So if you're within a certain range, it fades from one music to the other. But if we play them all together, it should sound hideous, although TJ can't hear it. Here we go.
Apparently, Unseen Horror is the best one to use.
So all together.
I'm just seeing if any more answers come through.
Okay, let's not play them all together. Yeah, Unseen Horror seems like a great idea that we'll do that. So let's pop that into. I'm just going to put a string. String, TJ.
A string is words. It's words or letters that you can change.
Yep.
So it's the same as text.
Unseen Horror channel 4. Channel 4. Unseen Horror.
A really angry cat playing a bagpipe.
That's scary. So Unseen Horror, and then the least one. Are we going to go with the evening of what? Evening of light entertainment. What was it called? Evening of whatever it was.
Chaos.
Evening of Chaos. That's on channel 2, and that'll be the least. And then we just need one for the middle, and we'll skip out the other. So it's just a choice between Day of Chaos and Symmetry. So I'll let the chat decide. But we will go for a chocolate question at the same time. And today we are brought to you by Nestle Crunch. Look at that. You can just see the crunchiness of it all there. And a question about being lost, and just the feelings of lost. When you're lost, what do you do to help? When you're lost, what do you do when you're first lost? When you're very first lost? So not when you've been lost for 3 days or something, or not when you've been lost for an hour, but when you're first lost, what is your first reaction? Okay, what is the thing you think? I'm going to do that. We're not looking for funny answers, although that obviously helps us laugh. But just what do you do as your first reaction for being lost? Is it to check for something? Is it to think that you need to find someone? Just what do you do? Any Boy Scouts up there who start to compare their watch to the sun or anything like that? What do you do when you first realise you're lost in a physical space? There we go. That's the chocolate question.
What was the 2 songs? I'm just going to put them in chat because
so
crashed.
Yeah, okay. So it's the
Symmetry.
Symmetry, which is this one, or Day of Chaos. Which one is mildly scary? So Symmetry is lots of sharp, scratchy kind of noise, and Day of Chaos is the piano one.
One of the answers already is turn around and retrace steps.
Retrace steps is a very sensible thing. It's funny how when you get lost, seeing things in reverse, like seeing the background, so the back of houses or the back of things, isn't always helpful. And sometimes you can think, oh, I definitely didn't turn this way. But if you notice key markers like post boxes or funny shaped tree or something, that really helps sort of retrace your steps. Retracing steps, good answer. Right, okay, I'm now going to give the front box a friend called left and one called right. Now the reason I'm going to do that is or clone it and clone it again.
And Day of Chaos as well. Got
great. Perfect. So left we will do in blue, and let's just make it blue, and then you will see my wonderful artwork that I've created. I studied computer animation. The reason I came to Bradford was to study computer animation, and so you will be unimpressed by the thing that took me half an hour to make yesterday. But TJ was impressed.
Oh yeah, it looks well good.
Ah, there we go. It's nice. So we got left and right, which we also need to position around, because we have got these things. We've got a close-up 3D effect. If I press play, there we go. And I'll need to. So we've got when you're turning from wall to wall. This one's turning left from looking at a wall to looking at a door. Oh, look at that! I'm not sure I can replay that. Here we go. There we go. Anyway, you almost saw that. And so there's a crazy amount. There's 8 different combinations. If you've got a door in a wall and you can turn left and right, there are actually 8 different combinations of what you can do. You can turn door to door left, door to door right, wall to door to wall left, door to wall. Anyway, you can just look at the list. There we go. And then wall to wall left and wall to wall right at the bottom. So there's a crazy amount of combinations. So it's going to be a bit code boring. So I think when we get to the end of the show, I think I'll finish off without making you suffer me repeatedly through the 16 times putting all those in. So we're going to say that if we're facing to the right, we need to set the position for the left. I need to think about it. Our left, if we face right, our left is going to be top. So I want to select the position relative to this dude and to be top. So that means that if we're facing the opposite direction, the right one will be there. And then that means that this... have I got a... Here we go. That won't be there.
First person has been asked in chat. So it is technically first person. It's a pseudo 3D.
Yes.
First person.
Oh yeah, of course. If you didn't see last sessions, the maze that we're drawing is just a calculating device for so the computer can work out what to draw. So the maze is not going to be seen at all. You're not going to see that maze. You're going to be in the maze. So there we go. So if we're facing up, we've got left there, and we've got right there. No, we haven't.
Another answer to the question.
Yeah, go on.
Search for clues around myself. Have those clues help me search for the answer why I'm lost. Once I have the answer, no longer lost. That's
almost like a philosophical way of thinking about life there. Very good. Right, let's see if I've sorted out these left and rights in the correct order, because I just dragged and dropped ticks randomly, really. I did think about it, but here we go. Oh, it's having a good old think about starting this. It's all the animation stuff that I put in. Program running. Life choices being evaluated. Here we go. So, left and right and front. Oh, flipping heck, I've got all the music happening as well. I'm just going to mute everything. Left, left, left. Yeah! That works. Right, let's stop the. Let's sort out the music, and then we'll add in these these close 3Ds and far 3Ds things. So we want to have an endpoint. So I'm just going to put that down as an object. So all of these objects that we're putting into the game, we're putting as active objects, but they're only just place markers really on a map. So we'll call this end, and we'll just make it a different colour. Purple, TJ?
Yeah.
Yeah, nice bit of purple. And then maybe just a E for end, because we've got an F for front. There we go. And the reason that, like I said, I do that is because then I can really quickly see in the event editor, without having to hover over to find out what it is, what things are. So we're going to always get this little dude to his ultra ball values, so the calculations within himself. We'll call it dist to end, as in the distance to the end, and we will set that to be a ultra values, set his distance to end to be his position, his distance with a point, and the point being this block here. Good. Right. Distance. Oh, I've nearly written a word there. Flare position.
Yeah.
Flare. So right. There we go. And so we've got the three. And you said day was the winner. Yeah. Yeah.
I'll just double check. Yeah, Day of Chaos.
Day of Chaos. Okay. So we'll have a look at what the furthest. If you are here, if it's all the way over here, the end point, that's kind of the furthest that it can be away from you if you start off in the center. So if we run our application, we're going to use the debug window, which is totally some jargon there. So the debug window, TJ, allows us to do what? Oh, flipping the sound. The sound. Just give me a second. I'm just going to, at start of frame, set channel volume to 0. Channel volume. And I'll just do that for that. So what's debugging, TJ? What's the debug window?
So a debug window allows you to search for very specific things in your game. For example, if you want to check if maybe a bug is occurring, you can bring up in the window to see how many objects there are, if the ultra values are being what they are, and if there's a flag that's been on or off. And it just allows you to search through it and try and find out and narrow down what is causing the bug. So it's a really useful tool.
Definitely. And so I'm going to just open it here and do exactly what TJ suggested, look at the ultra ball values. So for the player, I can look at all the ultra ball values, all that strings, ultra ball values, and you can see that it's 640 pixels between us and the end point. So if I was to turn around, we can watch it change every now and then. Right, okay, if I zoom in a bit as well, maybe while I do it. So you can see, there you go, you can see it drop down. And if I start going away, going up again. So you can, and you can also change it. You can also, double click and start typing in, not letters, but numbers for these, and change things. So you can set your own score. You can, so it's a bit like hacking, I suppose, but you're doing it on your own game. So it's called debugging, because what you're going to do is you're going to get these bugs and debug them. So getting rid of bugs. So I want to say new condition. So it's 640. So if we're going to divide that up by 3, that's about 213, 200 something. 40 divided by 3 doesn't go very well, but anyway, 213 maybe-ish. So I'll say just 210. So if the ultra value compared to the ultra value, if the distance to end is lower than 210, that means that we want the channel playing for the horror, which I know because I've written it out. Can I not? There we go. Unseen Horror is on channel 4. And I also know that here. Unseen Horror is on channel 4. So we're gonna change the samples. We're gonna set the channel volume, which is off your screen, but I can see it. Set channel volume to channel 4 volume to 100. But at the same time, we also samples. We want to set all the other ones to 0. So samples, set channel volume. To be fair, it's only going to be the one before, the chaos one. So we're going to set channel volume 2 to 0. Okay, now if the distance is greater or equal than that, and it is, I have to rush through this, lower than 420, Then we're going to set channel 4 volume to 0. Set... Oops. Done that the wrong way around. Set channel 4 volume to 0. And then... Oh, this is... I tell you what. With computer games, when you make something good, often it's really dull. The coding... The more complicated something is, the more tricky the coding is. So you do get this point of... did I want channel 0? No, I'd already done channel 2. I wanted channel 1 to be 0. Yes, so what I'm saying, I'm getting lost because I'm concentrating. If you want to make a game that has some really nice graphics or sound effects or things like that that alter and are blended or sort of work in a really clever way, often you have to do loads of fiddly lines. And TJ, we make games in about 30 lines of code, don't we? Something like that. And then and then when we add something fancy to it, we can, it can be up to 200 lines of code just to have, something pretty happen. So
the numbers escalate quite a bit.
They do, just if making things. So channel 2, we'll set that off, and then channel 1, we will set back up to 100. Okay, theoretically this should work, and then we can end the session, and I can work on my pseudo 3D bit to show you next time. So we've got channel 4 set to 100% and channel 2 off, channel 2 to 100% and 4 and 1 off, and then channel 1 to 100% and channel 2 and 4 off, but theoretically 4 will already be off anyway. So if we run our application, we should have some music. I'll tell you, TJ, if it's working, because you can hear nothing. You'll be sad to hear, TJ, it's not working. We have a bug, and to end on a bug is a very sad thing, but such is life. Set the channel volume to 0 at the starter frame. I'm sorry, we'll just have to end there. That's sad, but it's a life lesson, guys. We don't always complete things in the time that we want, so we will save that work, very important, and TJ will give you a final word to make you feel a bit happier than I've left you.
This is when I get lost.
And that's a great final word. Thank you for watching.
I am lost too.
We are all lost in this world, and the things that we can do, the best we can do, is guide people to the next step forward.
Yeah, we'll help each other through being lost.
Yeah, definitely. We all get lost, even as adults. So be kind to your parents, because they might be feeling a little lost at the moment. And we will see you Friday when we will make this Super Ace game finished. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
This is the intro we did for the show, but we're not musical, as you may know. So we'll keep it just for a bit, as we do have words that kind of fit. If you can, make a better one, send it in, and that'll be fun, because we'll use it, get everyone laughing, because this one is embarrassing. TJ, I thought you could dance at this bit.
No.
TJ, are you dancing?
No, I'm not.
So come along and watch us code, make some stuff, and help you know that not much rhymes with draft will make game for a laugh.